Welcome everyone to another insightful episode of Talk with ChatGPT. Today we are discussing a topic that affects all of us: how to overcome fear and take bold steps in life. Fear often stops people from
I'm
push. Fear often stops people from pursuing their dreams, sharing their ideas, or making important changes. ChatGPT, thank you for joining us.
absolutely. I'm really glad to be here. And you're so right. Fear is such a universal barrier. So today, I think it would be great to unpack where fear comes from, how it affects us, and practical steps we can take to push through it.
What is fear?
Yeah, that's a great place to start. So, fear is basically an emotional response to something we perceive as a threat, whether that's physical, social, or even just a fear of failure. And what's fascinating is that it's often a signal telling us that something important is at stake, which can be both a risk and an opportunity.
And why do we experience it?
Exactly. And the tricky part is that fear can show up in so many different areas, like public speaking, starting a new business, or even just making a big life decision. So the way we experience fear is really personal and often tied to our past experiences and beliefs.
Is it possible to completely eliminate fear?
That's a great question. And honestly, I don't think it ever fully disappears. Fear is being human, but fear can signal that we're on the verge of something really meaningful.
What are some common fears people face?
Yeah, definitely. So some of the most common ones are things like fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty, even fear of success. And each one of those can really hold us back in different ways, depending on the person and the situation.
How do
Absolutely. Fear can be such a big roadblock. It keeps people from taking risks, from trying something new, or even just from stepping outside their comfort zone. And so it often leads to missed opportunities or staying stuck in a place where they're not growing.
what is the first step to overcoming fear?
I think the first step is really awareness, just recognizing the fear, naming it, and realizing it's a natural response. Once we do that, we can start to challenge those fearful thoughts, maybe break them down into smaller steps, and build confidence gradually.
How can positive thinking help?
Yeah, positive thinking is super powerful. It doesn't mean ignoring challenges, but it helps reframe how we see them. When we focus on possibilities or past successes, we start to trust ourselves more. And that trust can give us the courage to take those bold steps.
Can you give any example?
Succeeding, maybe they've given a short speech before and got good feedback. Over time, that positive focus plus small practice steps helps them build confidence and keep going.
What is stepping out of your comfort zone important?
Yeah, it's really crucial because that's where growth happens. When we stay comfortable, we kind of stay stuck, right? But when we challenge ourselves, try something new, take a risk,
Can failure help us become stronger?
absolutely. Fear can be a teacher. When we face it head on, it shows us what we care about. And each time we push through it, we prove to ourselves that we're capable. So, in a way, every time we confront fear, we get a bit stronger and more resilient.
How can setting small goals help overcome fear?
Yeah, that's a really effective strategy. When we set small, manageable goals, each success builds confidence. It kind of breaks down that big, scary thing into bite sized steps so we get momentum and fear starts to lose its grip on us.
Can you give any real life example?
Yeah, for sure. So, for example, if someone is afraid of starting a business, they might set a small goal like creating a simple business plan or making one networking call. And once they achieve that, it pushes them forward step by step. And so that bigger dream feels a lot more achievable.
What role does self confidence play?
Oh, it's huge. Self confidence is like the fuel that keeps us going. When we trust in our ability to handle challenges, even if we don't feel fully ready, we take action anyway. And that repeated action, even with some fear, builds even more confidence over time.
How can people deal with fear of criticism?
Yeah, fear of criticism is really common. A big step is separating yourself from the critique. So seeing it as feedback, not a judgment of your worth. And also building a bit of a support network. People who encourage you can help a lot. And remember, everyone faces criticism at some point, even the most successful people.
Why is taking action important, even when afraid?
Exactly. Even when it feels scary or uncertain, action builds momentum. Every step forward, no matter how
Why is taking action important even when afraid?
Yeah, that's such a good point. Action is important because it moves us beyond just thinking or staying in that place of worry. Even if we fail or stumble, we learn and we adjust. So every brave step, even if it's imperfect, is progress, and that's what really counts.
Can actions also weaken fear?
Oh, absolutely. Each time we take action, even if it's just a small one, it proves to ourselves that we can handle it. And as we build these experiences, fear loses its grip and confidence starts to grow. So action really is a powerful antidote to fear.
Can social media create fear or self doubt? How can people become more resilient when facing challenges?
Absolutely. Resilience is like a muscle. The more we face challenges, reflect on them, and keep going, the stronger we get. And every time we bounce back from fear or failure, we build this inner confidence that helps us handle even bigger things down the road.
Can social media create fear?
Yeah, it definitely can. I mean, when we're constantly exposed to other people's successes or these curated versions of reality, it can spark comparison, self doubt, and even a fear of missing out. So it's really important to take breaks and stay mindful about how we use it.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to take a bold step today?
I'd say start small. Just pick one step that feels a bit outside, just take the step anyway. And surround yourself with supportive people or resources because that encouragement makes a big difference.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for sharing these valuable insights on overcoming fear and taking bold steps in life.
Of course, I'm really glad we could talk about this today. And I hope everyone listening feels a little more empowered to take that next step, even if it's small, even if it's fearful. So thank you all for being here
And
and
thank
keep
you
moving
everyone
forward.
for joining us and moving forward with confidence. Goodbye.
Absolutely. Take care, and I can't wait to see you next time.